Hello, welcome to Biology for You. In this video, we are going to discuss liposuction. In this series of videos, we have been discussing different processes in genetic engineering. As a part of different transfection systems, we are going to discuss this liposuction. So, in this video, we are going to have the basic idea of the liposuction, what exactly it is, how it works, how it delivers the DNA inside the host cell, followed by what are the advantages with this method. So coming to the first point, liposuction is basically a transfection method. So by employing or with using a liposomes are lipoplexes. Using these kind of liposomes or lipoplexes, the DNA will be delivered into the host cell. So as we already discussed, the transfection methods are meant for the transferring or the delivery of the DNA molecule inside the host cell. So in order to produce a transgenic animal or a plant, these host cells need to be introduced with the foreign DNA, and these host cells are resistant most of the times towards the external DNA, foreign DNA, or maybe recombinant DNA. So in order to make this host cell compatible or suitable for the uptake of the DNA, we employ transfection methods. So there are many kinds of transfection methods. There are physical methods like microinjection, particle bombardment method, or many other kinds. So this liposuction is basically a biochemical method in which liposomes are employed. The liposomes are used for the transferring of the DNA into the host cell. Basically, what are the liposomes? Liposomes are nothing but these small vesicles made up of lipids. So it looks somewhat like this. So small vesicles are all over its surface it is made up of bilayer. So this kind of bilayered vesicles inside which DNA will be there. They carry DNA inside them, and these are basically the wide choice of the type of lipid that forms the liposome or the small vesicle, or maybe we can call as a micelle, and that kind of vesicles will be formed with the cationic lipids. Cationic lipids such as phosphatidyl, choline, and along with the combination is along with the DOPA or phosphatidyl ethanolamine or cholesterol. Or cholesterol. So majorly it is made up of these cationic lipids like phosphatidyl choline, and some of the helper lipids such as ethanolamine and cholesterol will also be incorporated inside this vesicle structure. These will be incorporated DNA inside them, and the overall charge over these vesicles will be positive, and so that they will be easily formed collaboration with the DNA which is having negative charge, and without any resistance they can easily deliver this DNA into the cell membrane, because the composition of the cell membrane is also similar with this. That means The composition of the plasma membrane is also a bilayered structure. So generally, lipophilic portion will be, we can find that kind of hydrophobic or lipophilic portion inside the bilayer, and outwards there will be these heads, phospholipid heads, which are basically a hydrophilic or lipophobic in nature. So then this vesicle will incorporate this vesicles are transferred to the membranes, biological membranes or plasma membranes. Because of their similar structure, they can be easily taken up by this membranes, plasma membrane of the host cells. So basically, in order to produce such vesicle, generally first we need to take cationic lipid based reagents. So these cationic lipid based reagents are basically rich in cationic lipids, and when they treat it with water, they spontaneously form these vesicle structures. So in order to repeatedly transfer them into the water, they form, because of their hydrophobic tails, they produce spontaneously this vesicle structure, and the hydrophilic portion will come out and expose it to the water in the media, and hydrophobic portion will be internalized inside the bilayer, and when they treat, the DNA will be added to this cationic lipid based reagent mixture or lipofaction mixture. The DNA, which is having negative charge, that will be incorporated inside, or maybe that will be carried by this cationic lipid based that means the vesicle will easily take up this DNA, and there forms the complex, liposome complex, on which DNA will be there, and we need to introduce this such reagents to the plasma membrane of the host cell. So when this happens, the liposome carrying DNA in it will be simply going and fusing with this plasma membrane. Generally, two types of variants will be there. That means either this liposome may fuse with the plasma membrane because of the similarity of this vesicle membrane with the plasma membrane, so it will be directly fused with the plasma membrane. So it will be like this. The liposome bilayer will be directly fusing with the plasma membrane, and DNA will be delivered directly inside the cytoplasm. Otherwise, they can also produce these vesicles will be the same, and the plasma membrane will phagocytosis or we can say endocytosis process will be carried to take up this vesicle inside the plasma membrane. This vesicle will be pinched off, slowly pinched off from this plasma membrane, and that eventually go enter into the cytoplasm, this way endosome in which the liposome is present. So basically the membrane layer will be going off, will go back to the membrane, and endosome will be released. This liposome will be released inside the, so this liposome will be released inside this cytoplasm. Basically this liposome will deliver this DNA out of it based on two methods again, either based on the lipids present on it. So basically, as we already discussed, there are cationic lipids. So because of the buffering nature of these cationic lipids, so based on the buffering nature of the cationic lipids, they interact with the cellular lipids and destabilize these vesicle structures. So that interaction of the cationic lipids with the cellular lipids destabilize this structure, liposome structure, and releases the DNA inside the cytoplasm. And the other method is basically these cellular lipids will neutralize the charges on the lipids present on the liposomes to deliver DNA inside the cytoplasm. So either these will be reactive, and otherwise cellular lipids will be reactive with the with this liposome structure, so that the liposome structure will be destabilized and the DNA will be released into cytoplasm. And inside the cytoplasm, it need to enter into the nucleus of the host cell. So generally the mechanism how it goes into the nucleus is not very well studied, but using some of the molecular events, it will go enter into the nucleus. Basically during the cell division, nuclear membrane will be disturbed. So that is the advantage for the cytoplasmic DNA entering into the genomic DNA. So maybe during the cell divisions, sometimes it will enter into the nucleus. So even for the primary cells which don't divide, in them also the cytoplasmic introduced DNA, that will also go into the nucleus. So the mechanism may be not properly studied, but somehow based on some molecular events that are happen inside the cell, the DNA, the target DNA inside the cytoplasm most of the times will go enter into the nucleus. So that is what the basic idea of the liposuction method. So coming to the different advantages of the method, it is basically widely applied to many cell types. So many species are ready for this liposuction method, and many kinds of nucleic acids, whether it could be a DNA, RNA, or many kinds of molecules can be introduced into living systems using this liposuction method. And it is considered as an efficient delivery system, very much advanced method, and with less cell cytotoxicity. So the cytotoxicity is very much less compared with the other chemical systems, and widely used more than calcium phosphate. These can be widely applied for many cell types because of the low cytotoxicity. And this liposuction, using this liposuction, we can also introduce DNA into the intact living organism. So with the intravenous injection, so using this intravenous injection, we can introduce DNA into the live organism, and generally transgenic mice will be produced using intratracheal infection. So due to this intratracheal injection, by which the liposomes will be delivered inside the tracheal environment, and they produce transgenic proteins inside their lungs. So it is one of the best example of the liposuction. So these are the advantages we can produce. It is widely applied for the production of transgenic mice, and even also applicable for the production of transgenic animals and plants. And we can use either cell cultures, or maybe a live organism or intact organism can also be used to deliver the DNA inside it, and the cytotoxicity is very much less compared with the other methods, and it is an efficient delivery system. And nucleic acids such as DNA, RNA can also be introduced with this method, and it is applicable to nearly many kinds of cell lines. And the other advantage with this method is basically it is this liposuction method is basically so this liposuction method is basically suitable for the many kinds of transfection methods, that let it be a transient transfection, or maybe a stable transfection, maybe co-transfection. So like that, many kinds of transfection events, the liposuction is used.